What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot lettering. So we're carrying on playing this by Sharp Conkeldurr team that Zordor sent in to us. If you didn't check out Tuesday's video, make sure you go and do that. We go a little more in depth with the team preview and everything else there. So let's just jump in, see what we can do today, and just get right to it. Run some people over. I'm all for it. This team's been cool. I'm a big fan of hyper offensive teams, and this definitely fits that category in my opinion. The combination of Cinderace and your Defiant Abuser, in this case being Bisharp, has been really fun, and something that I've been actually working on personally, just replacing Bisharp with Thundurus. So then of course you get intimidated and you're like, well, thanks, but let's see what we can do today and how high on the ladder we can go. So we have kind of double weather here with Tyranitar and Torkoal, but like they don't have a Sand Abuser. They obviously have Venusaur to pair with Torkoal, P2 so they can have a Trick Room mode with Tyranitar and Torkoal as well, and then Urshifu and Grimmsnarl rounding it out. I have a feeling this might be Water Urshifu, just because otherwise they don't really have any type of water coverage on their team at all. Either way, Zapdos lines up pretty okay against Urshifu in its entirety, as does Feeny. Feeny actually lines up pretty well against like everything they got going on here. We hit everything except for P2 super effectively. I think Conk is a must bring just because they could try to set Trick Room here. I kind of like Feeny Conk up front, and then round it out with like Zapdos and kind of leaning towards Cinderace, maybe Dragapult. Yeah, let's do Dragapult. Why not? I talked myself into it. This might be a game where we Dynamax Feeny, especially if we can actually get a Calm Mind off. Then I think we're in really good position. Our opponent might have timed out, so if we see Venu P2 up front, we can possibly anticipate Tyranitar Grimmsnarl in the back. Just because like that time went really close to time. We'll figure it out. But like Venu P2 is just a good lead on their end as well. Like it's pretty common as a lead, and that's Venu P2. So I feel pretty okay with this. Like they obviously could switch into Torkoal. They could try to set up Trick Room. I think honestly we have most of those covered anyway. If they switch into Torkoal, what is the best play? Probably switch into Zapdos here and take the incoming Leaf Storm or Vine Lash. Obviously, they can't Sleep Powder us because we have Terrain up. I think we'll go into Zapdos here. And I'm kind of fine just going for a Drain Punch into the P2. We could go for an Ice Punch into the Venusaur, just to threaten it. But I think this covers most potential switches they could have too. Like if they do have Tyranitar, keeping around Conkeldurr is going to be really important. Yeah, there's a Sludge Bomb into Zapdos. That does quite a chunk. It's because they're Life Orb. Makes sense. Of course, we are Citrus, so we're going to go back up. Pretty okay health total here. Drain Punch does a very, very solid chunk to P2. Yeah, there's Trick Room. I feel pretty okay with this. Like, we have the slowest Mon on the field, and we're threatening both of their Mons here. I could go for Roost with the Zapdos just to heal up. I could also max and go for Heat Wave max Flare into the Venusaur, so then it is the fastest thing on the field under Trick Room, and I'm actually pretty okay with that. I think I like Roost more, though. This is 75 versus 40. And based on the damage output that we did, I don't think Mach Punch is quite enough to pick up the P2. Yeah, they are going to max their, presumably gonna max Venusaur here. Which, if this is the case, I feel pretty okay. Like, we have AV on Conk, so, like, if they try to take it out, we're gonna be able to live that hit pretty well. Yeah, P2 goes down. Man, I'm really glad we get to show off just exactly what Conkeldurr can do here. Take that like a champ. And now Zapdos is back to full HP as well. So now that Zapdos is back up to full HP, mind you, we're gonna take Chip here. I'm pretty okay with like maxing Zapdos and going for that flare into the Venu here. Show me Tyranitar. Give me your Tyranitar. Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna protect. They have to protect Tyranitar here, right? So I think that means our play is we're going to go ahead and max and flare into the Venu. And we're going to Ice Punch the Venu as well. Just double into it, try to pick up a KO here. Because I think this Protect on Tyranitar is the most obvious play you could make this game. So, like, not losing my my Conk for no reason seems pretty appealing. Especially since we are still under Trick Room. The fact that we're going to change the weather, so Tyranitar's special defense is going to fall, Venusaur's speed is going to increase. Like, this just really works out for us in every way. I think the only way this turn would be even better is if we get a freeze on Venusaur. Which, it might not even matter, we might just take it out here. Quake is enough to take out Conk, and that is unfortunate, but I'm pretty okay with this. Like, we still have Feeny in the back. Unfortunately, we are changing the weather to sun while bringing out Feeny, but we have Moonblast on it, so... Not quite enough to take out Venu, but Venu really shouldn't threaten us now that Chlorophyll is activated, so I feel pretty okay about this turn. And I think just because I bring out Tyranitar here, I think I am more inclined to bring out Tapu Fini. And I kind of want to go for a Calm Mind here. See, we have 2 turns of Trick Room left. So our last turn of Max is the last turn of Trick Room. We could just Lightning the... I think Venusaur probably protects this turn. So I think doubling into the Tyranitar is probably appropriate. We could also just Lightning here and Calm Mind. Also, actually, I think I like splitting my damage. Going for the Flare into Venu and going for the Moonblast into Tyranitar. This means if Venusaur does protect, then it works out for us that we're still getting very good damage in on the Tyranitar. And if they don't, then we pick up the KO on the Venusaur. The question is how much does this Moonblast do? Not enough. We get the special attack drop. And there's no weakness policies. So that was like the one concern of actually going for the Moonblast there, as opposed to going for the Calm Mind, is we could activate a potential weakness policy. Obviously, I don't want to go for Scald just because the sun is up, but I feel pretty okay about this because now this turn we can protect Feeny and go for Airstream. Airstream will pick up the KO on the Venusaur. And then after this turn, Trick Room will be over and will be the fastest things on the field. Their last mon most likely is Grimmsnarl, so this actually works out pretty well for Feeney in this endgame as well. Actually, I think because the fact that their last one is most likely going to be Grimmsnarl, I'm actually pretty fine going for a Calm Mind here. Rockslide's going to do a chunk to Zapdos. We get the Calm Mind off with Feeney. And then Airstream's going to go off into the Venu, and now we're nice and fast outside of Trick Room. This went pretty okay for us, I'm not going to lie. I think we lost Conk a little early for what I would have liked to do, but I think our opponent definitely played this well. Zapdos should hold on here. Yep. So then this turn, we can go for a Roost with Zapdos. So then the Rock Slide is not going to be super effective damage. I believe that's Grimmsnarl. Yep. Okay. So it does look like the opponent actually timed out here in move selection, in team selection, I should say. But I think that honestly is still fine. I like the 4 that they ended up bringing regardless. I think they had game regardless. Obviously, I think Grimmsnarl would have been better had it been the Torkoal for this game, but overall I still think Tapu Fini just runs this team over. They could have Fake Out on the Grimmsnarl, so like we could just lose Zapdos here, and I'm pretty okay with that, to be honest. I'm really hoping they just go for, like, light screen here and not reflect. Okay. So now the Tyranitar is going to live this Moonblast unless we crit, but we also get our Roost off, and now Zapdos isn't going to take super effective damage. So we should be able to live the incoming Rock Slide. Stomping Tantrum. I'm just going to try to pick up the KO. Oh, that's actually super smart. I hadn't even considered that as an option. Nice play, opponent. Very nice play. Vine Lash is also over, so that worked out pretty okay for us. Yeah, super well played there by our opponent. Had not even considered that as an option. I'll Thunderbolt here. I'll Moonblast here. If they want to protect, I'm pretty okay with either. Yeah, opponent concurs that this game is over. I think they needed to pick up the Zapdos that turn to have a consideration in this game, and it wouldn't really have mattered because we still had Dragapult in the back as well. So that is game number 1 for us today, and I will take it. Let's see what we can do with one more. Opponent definitely had a really interesting team. I liked the idea of everything they had going on. Their Trick Room mode with Tyranitar and Torkoal in the back is really great, especially since they also can just lead P2 plus Venusaur. And that puts on a ton of pressure against your opponent saying, all right, what mode am I going to play this game? And the reality is both. So, Landorus, Eliki, Grimmsnarl, Reggie, Steel, Spectrier, and Moltres. I think I like Dragapult Bisharp up front. I think this covers basically everything that our opponent could possibly lead. Like if we get the Intimidate in on the Bisharp, I feel pretty alright with that. Dragapult obviously not so much. But I think because we are Speedcraft to outspeed the Spectre here, I'm pretty okay with leading this. So I like Dragapult Bisharp. I think I like... And I kind of want to bring Conk just to try to punch through this Registeel. And then we also have Mach Punch, so we can deal pretty significant damage to the Eliki as well. Leaves us kind of weak to Moltres, but I think we bring Zapdos for Moltres. I think this combination leaves us, especially if we do bring Conk, What if we do Conk and Feeney, because that gives us still an answer to Moltres and lets us have a answer to Landorus as well. I'm pretty okay with this. So let's see, what do we have going on? What do you got for me, opponent? What do you got for me? It's going to be Glastrier and Grimmsnarl. I wonder if this is fake tears. This could be fake tears plus max, and I think that's actually a very viable option. But I think I'm going to just Phantom Force into the horse. I'm going to Sucker Punch it too. I think this lead is actually pretty okay for us, just because we do get to put on a ton of pressure against their horse. No! Okay. What are they tricking here? Dragapult's going to get a... Okay. So obviously they're going for a Will-O-Wisp. The question is where? Into my Bisharp. That's really unfortunate, actually. That's really unfortunate. So I think the play now is I just want to Ironhead this this Grimmsnarl. Like, Assurance is nice, but not so much when my partner's going to be slower than me, like my Dragapult is now. They're going to withdraw the Glastrier. They're going to go into Eliki. Well, Eliki's not going to like that. This is Spirit Break into Dragapult. Okay, I feel like it was fairly obvious to just go for the Spirit Break into my Bisharp and do pretty significant damage to it, but I'll take it. Okay, so we have a Lagging Tail. How do we play this now? How do we play this? Our Focus Sash is broke on Bisharp. I don't want to bring in either of these right now. I think we just Phantom Force this slot again. Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's Phantom Force the Eliki slot, and I'm gonna Sucker Punch it. Ah, dang it. I think this is fine. The fact that we've wasted 2 turns with Sucker Punch has been unfortunate, but it's fine. It's not the end of the world. And this turn, I'm going to protect Bisharp. I think our opponent is going to understand that they can't Spirit Break the Dragapult, and so they're going to Spirit Break into my Bisharp, and I don't like that, so I'm going to protect it. Going to withdraw the Grimmsnarl. Is that Glastrier coming back in? It is. So Eliki's not going to do any damage this turn. Okay. Okay. So I think this next turn, I'm going to protect Dragapult and go for an Assurance into the Glastrier. And there's the Grimmsnarl again. I think they want to try to take out my Dragapult, so I'm just going to protect it. They could also try to Will-O-Wisp it, just to try to play around Sucker Punch, so I think Assurance is the correct play here. So the real question is how do we play this end game? I think I've done pretty okay with preserving our Dynamax and not just being reckless. Okay, this is Shadow Ball. How much does this Assurance do after burn? Honestly, not too much. And they Spirit Break the Dragapult as well. Okay. Am I fine letting Dragapult go down if it means I get a free switch in? I think the answer is yes. The question is to what? I think Feeny is probably our best switch in. I'm going to go for the double protect. I'm going to Sucker Punch this turn. I think they make the same play. Okay, we missed the protect. Actually get the Sucker Punch off. I think double Sucker Punch actually would have been enough. I think we're getting double KO'd this turn, which is unfortunate, especially since they are going to they're going to get their Grimnay boost. If this doesn't KO, it's really good for us, but I think it will. Oh! Okay. I mean, that's going to give us a Defiant boost, so thanks. That basically removes the burn. Which means now they want to target down the Bisharp to try to remove it, so I think... Do I want to bring in Feeny or do I want to bring in Conk? I think Conk lines up better against what our opponent has in play currently. The question is, what do they have in the back? If this is Registeel in the back, I don't feel great about this. I kind of want to Dynamax and Knuckle. I think I feel okay about this. They have to... No. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. Because they've shown us Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to switch into Feeny this turn. And I'm going to go for an Assurance into the horse. I think they go for Will-O-Wisp into my Conk this turn. And I want to keep Bisharp in, specifically just because I got my Defiant boost. Okay, they're going to take my lefties and give me a Lum, which isn't great. Yeah, they're going to Shadow Ball my... Do we live? Dang it. Dang it. Okay. I wanted to obviously play around Will-O-Wisp there. Man, that's really bad. The fact that Grimmsnarl now has lefties is really bad for us, right? But, like, this horse is a bigger threat. So I'm going to Geyser the horse. And I'm going to Drain Punch here. Okay, they're not maxing the horse. That's kind of good for us. Like, a +2 horse, even, I mean, they are at low HP, but... Like, based on the mons that I have left, I think this is fine. Opponent has definitely played this very well. But now Feeny gets to pick up the KO on there. And see, this is unfortunate because now they're going to Spirit Break my Feeny to lower my special attack, but, like, we do set the rain. So, like, we are going to do more damage, but... Oh, they Spirit Break my Conk. That's way better for us. Especially since we Drain Punched. And now that's in Mach Punch range. So what is your last opponent? And it's Landorus. Okay. I mean, Oh, the Intimidate probably means they live a Mach Punch. But I think this is fine because I need to pick up the KO on this Grim this turn. And I'm gonna go... I think this is my best play. I think the Grim lives a Mach Punch. If they didn't have exactly Landorus as their last tier, I think we're in an okay position. But I think because of that, I don't know. Opponent has definitely played this well, and I don't think I have. Yep, Airstream into Conk should pick up the KO. And now it's a 1v2 where they're going to have an extra turn of Dynamax versus us. The question is after the speed boost, does Grimmsnarl now outspeed Feeney? They do. That's really unfortunate. I think had they not outsped us, I think we could have won this game. Geyser's going to be enough to pick up the KO on the Grimmsnarl, even at -1. But now I think we're going to need a crit. Because obviously they Quake us. I could Max Guard this turn. I also could Geyser just to deal more damage. But I really don't want them to get a Quake boost. I don't think either play is correct. I don't think either play is good for us, I should say. Yep. Because either way, they're going to get the Quake off next turn. And the Quake would have KO'd us next turn had we not protected. I don't know. I don't feel great about this one. Just crit. That's not a crit. I think had we actually crit there, I think that would have KO'd. The fact that we don't have our lefties is really bad for us. Stalled their last turn of Dynamax. Yeah, Rockfall's good here because it's going to do extra chip damage to us in the turn and remove our rain. Yep, GG opponent. Close game. I don't think I played well, and I think you played very well, so GG's. So had we... I think the Grim getting multiple tricks off and just, like... I think the trick into the Feeney was extremely smart. I think had I read... Like, I think the play of them going into, like, Will-O-Wisp into my Conk is also, like, a play you could see. But, like, it's a downside if I'm Guts. So, I don't know. I could see it either way. So we got Zapdos, Grimmsnarl, Metagross, P2, Entei, and Glastrier here. This is interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't know. Like, we have a lot of things that line up okay, but not great. So what do we like? I can do Dragapult Conk up front. And that answers... like, that lines up pretty okay against, like, Metagross P2. But I also think that they could lead Entei, and Ice Sharp looks really good there if they want to bulldoze us. But, like, at the same time, the bulldoze is going to break our sash, and then they just Quake into my Bisharp and pick up the KO there. So But that doesn't look particularly appealing, so I think the play is Dragapult Conk. And I like Cinderace Bisharp in the back, I think. I think this is fine. Feeney might be a consideration, but I think Feeney also doesn't line up particularly well against their Glastrier or their Zapdos. So, I don't know. I don't feel great. I don't hate it. Let's see what our opponent does here. That's the real question. I have a feeling this is probably Entei Metagross. It's Grimmsnarl P2. Okay. I'm actually pretty okay with this lead as well. Like, I'm going to Phantasm the Grimmsnarl and Drain Punch the... If they don't reflect, this is really good for us, but... maybe... I don't know. Like, do I care if Trick Room goes up? Obviously, their Trick Room answer is better because it's... I'm just gonna double... Oh, no. I meant to double the P2. I meant to double into the P2 with, like, Wormwind plus Mach Punch, or Wormwind Drain Punch, and that would prevent Trick Room from going up. Please don't fake out my Conkeldurr. Please don't set Reflect. Please don't. I mean, that's actually, like, the best case scenario. Because now, P2 actually probably goes down to a minus... a -1 defense drain punch here. And the Icy Wind. Sure. I mean, Conk's just going to gain all that back. P2 doesn't quite go down. But I'm pretty okay with that. Because now what I can do is I can Airstream the Grimmsnarl. And I can Mach Punch the P2, pick up the KO there. They obviously Thunder Wave my Dragapult again, I assume. Yep. Yep. Just attack through paralysis. Alright, cool. We're going to have a speedy Conk. That Grimmsnarl might be in Mach Punch range. Which would actually be pretty great. If this is Horse coming in, I could Wormwind the Horse to lower its attack and pick up the KO on the Grimmsnarl to prevent, like, screens from going up. I feel pretty okay about this. We're gonna pick up hopefully multiple KOs in our Dynamax. Not directly because of our Dynamax, but yeah, it is Glastrier coming in. So there's a non-zero chance that we lose Dragapult this turn. I could also Phantasm the Grimmsnarl to pick up the KO on it with that. And give the Glastrier -1 defense. Am I okay losing Dragapult? I honestly think the answer is yes. -1 Phantasm should pick up the KO on the Glastrier. I mean, on the Grimmsnarl. I don't want to Drain Punch here because they could be weakness policy. So I think I'm just going to Thunder Punch and try for a para. Obviously, the Dynamax the Horse. Of course. And I think dropping the defense of the Glastrier is more important, especially because of who we have in the back. And they do have screens. Interesting. I mean, I'm still pretty okay with this. This should go down. Okay. Gonna get the defense drop on the horse. Now, can we get a para? Para, full para here would be insane. No full para. Alright, Glastrier. Oh! Oh, that's really good for us. Because now we can Drain Punch whatever they bring in next to Glastrier. Get some recovery. And we can Phantom Force. Oh yeah, I'm going to Phantom Force the crap out of that Metagross. Actually, they're probably lum on the Glastrier the more I think about this. Give it to me. Give me your HP, Glastrier. If we could crit through the screen, that would actually be insane. Conk should outspeed Metagross. Maybe. Probably not, actually. Yeah, they're going to protect Metagross. I'm pretty okay with that. We get the Phantom Force off. We get the Drain Punch off. Huge damage. Conk probably goes down this turn if I was a betting man. Oh, maybe not actually if they're just knuckling. Oh, yeah. Okay. Thanks, opponent. Like, we're just stalling out this Glastrier's Dynamax, which I never expected to say with a Dragapult on the field. And I will Drain Punch again. If you're going to just let me, I'm going to do it, opponent. I definitely think doubling into the P2 on turn 1 would have been correct. Just to prevent a potential Trick Room from going up, especially since we are committing our Dynamax. On top of that, I think... Man, Conk has just pulled his weight today. He has really impressed me today. We've brought him to all 3 games. Game 2 he didn't do a ton, but I also think that like Game 1 and Game 3 he is definitely... He's just really good as a counter to... That's going to trigger a policy, and I'm not okay with that. I mean, am I? I'm kind of okay with it. Especially if... No. Sorry, Conk. You tried, buddy. I think had Conk outsped the Metagross there at +1, I think we were in a really good position. But now the Glastrier is going to get to +1. I think actually the most ideal play that turn would have been for Dragapult to get full parried. Because then Conk probably actually lives. Maybe? I don't know. Luckily, their Dynamax is over, so now we get to bring out Cinderace and Bisharp. Metagross is terrified. We've seen Hailstorm. We have seen... What else did Glastrier show us? It did something weird last turn. How are they +2 attack? I only picked up 1 KO. Oh, Knuckle. Knuckle. So we'll Sucker Punch the Metagross. We will Iron Head the horse. I just need to crit. Yeah, they protect the horse. They don't protect the Metagross. So that's good. No! No! Metagross, whatever you're going for, just miss. You didn't miss. I specifically asked. Oh, well, we're fine. +3 Metagross isn't even that good, guys. What was I worried about? And now, this horse should be terrified. So we can go for Pyro Ball, and we can go for Assurance. Just connect the Pyro Ball. I think Iron Head probably was the correct play there, just because it is super effective stab. But this way I get to click Assurance. Easy. Easy. GG's opponent. Really well played. And Cinderace doesn't even go down. What was I worried about? That being said, +3 Rock Slide did not do nearly as much as I anticipated it to do to either of our Mons. But that's a win. 2-1 today, not too terrible. I would like to see just exactly where our rank is going to end for today. Update that rank. Come on. Come on. And then we'll throw up the rental code and talk through a little more. Top 2,000. Not too terrible. So yeah, Conkeldurr definitely pulled his weight today. Really, I honestly didn't think about it until today. It's a really good check to P2. Especially like in this team where you don't typically want Trick Room to go up. But if it does, like, Conk is kind of fine just playing through it. So, like, also pairing it next to Tapu Fini, so the Spectre can't Will-O-Wisp you is kind of okay as well. And, like, you can also just stay in and, like, not, like what happened in Game 2, you know? We can be Guts, and so our opponent going for a Will-O-Wisp just means that, well, you're just going to give us an attack boost. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that because we are Iron Fist and we just dish out a ton of damage regardless. But this team's been it's been phenomenal to put it very, very bluntly. Definitely recommend picking it up. Zordor, please keep sending your teams in, man. I have enjoyed every single one of them that I've played. So that's going to be it, everyone. Have a wonderful day, and we'll be back later in the week with some more Littleroot lettering. Have a good one. Peace.